Hey folks, how's it going? I jumped in a little bit eager there. How's it going, everybody? Happy Thursday, happy office hours live. I love these. I used to think that doing these every week would be a real pain, to be honest. I used to think that, how could I maintain that? How could I keep doing this weekly live thing? But it's actually kind of nice. I like it. It's fun to be able to hang out with you guys for 40 minutes or so, usually an hour, answer some cool questions, bounce a few ideas off of you. And I don't know, it's easy now. It's easy to do this. I like it. And we usually have some really nice questions, some fun things to answer. So let me know if you guys can see and hear me. I just want to make sure that we're good to go before we jump in and go to town. Cool. Sweet. Hey, Alea. Hey, Aaron. Funny stuff. Make yourself known. Whoever's here watching, say hi. Let me know if you're if you're a Freelancing Freedom student, or if you're not, and this is, you've never attended any of these office hours, or, where you're tuning in from. And, whatever, just say hi. We are live, so I'm happy to say hello to everyone. And how these work is, that we answer questions from freelancers in the course, and after that, after that priority of answering questions to the students in the course, we'll answer questions of people not in the course. Alea says, I tried Bubbly. Do they have it in the States? Do they have Bubbly or Boobly, whatever we call it? Do we have that in the States? Or do you have that in the States rather? Because I actually saw a really great ad on YouTube today. It was really cute. You guys know Michael Bublé? The Canadian kind of swoony singer. It was an ad, and it was like, Bubbly, or is it Bubbly or is it Bublé? And it was like Michael Bublé in a grocery store with a Sharpie writing an E in replacement of the Y. You have to look at the ad. It's not as funny when I just say it. Sweet. Loves me some Michael Bublé, says Aaron. Me too. Honestly do. He's a fantastic singer. So yeah, this is great. Cool. Nice to see familiar faces too. Hey, Ori. Hey, Olatomide. Hopefully I got that right. Mike, good to see you here. This is awesome. Cool. We're all celebrating our communal joy of Michael Bublé. Amazing. Loving it. Okay. Mike, his Christmas stuff is ridiculously good too. Yes, that's like his moneymaker, quite literally. Anyone who has a Christmas album that is popular, that's a recurring revenue every single year. Anyway, good to see y'all. Happy to have you here. And at any point, if you have questions, shout them out in the live chat there, or put them in the form. In the form, it's in the list in the description below, and I'll answer the questions as best as I can. As usual, we're usually a little bit slow to have questions at first, but that's totally fine. Let me just start out. There are a couple things here, so I'll just jump in, and then I'll give you... Well, first, let me give you a little bit of a rundown what's going to happen. As usual, as questions come in, and I'll answer them. That usually takes up the hour, but to add a little bit of flair and exciting, use of your time, I want to make this a little bit different. I'm going to show you a sneak peek, a condensed lesson of the new Launch Your Freelance Business course. That module 1 is completely filmed and almost fully edited. There are five modules in the new Launch Your Freelance Business course, and it is looking great. I'm very excited about it and how it's going to kick off the new product course direction with Freelancing Freedom. I'm really excited to share it with you. So module 1 is about ready. And for those of you who are within Freelancing Freedom Mastermind, as I promised, you get Freelancing Freedom's new course, Launch Your Freelance Business for free. So I'll be releasing the modules as they are completed. So probably next week, you can expect the new lessons at least module 1 of the new course. Very excited about it. Let's see. Aaron, love his rendition of "Come Fly With Me, Let's Fly." Yeah, it's a great one. Olatomide, you pronounced it like I pronounced it like bromide. Try syllables by syllables. What? Pardon me? Olatomide. I'm going the bromide. You're gonna have to help me out here, man. I don't know. Leave me to hang here. Okay, how about we just go in? I got a couple questions here. I'm gonna jump in and then I'll show you a little sneak peek, and then hopefully some more questions come in. We'll answer some questions. If not, we'll have an early Thursday. Aaron, as usual, our weekly question submitter without fail, actually doesn't have a question. He has a kind of a request. And so anyone watching, whether it's live or in the replay, whatever, Aaron says he is in desperate need of some options for a Swift developer. I'd really appreciate a Swift developer to connect with me. I'm really in need of more options. If anyone recalls from last week, we were talking about Aaron's sticky situation regarding developing an app for a project that he's doing with a client, and he needs a Swift developer. So if you know someone, or you are a good, reliable, quality consultant who happens to be able to code Swift, or know someone, get in touch with Aaron. Aaron's in the chat there. So there we go. Hello, Lori. Good to have you here. That was the first one. That was Aaron. Okay. And let me see here. There is another question here. And how about this? I'll get into the question because it looks like a meaty one. Right after I give you a little sampler, it's going to be a couple minutes, of the new launch course. Does that sound good? We cool with that? All right. Let's do it. In the 2012 movie The Dark Knight Rises, with Christian Bale as Batman, there's a powerful scene in which Bruce Wayne is imprisoned in a deep pit, among many others. The prisoners are taunted with the possibility of escape, but only if they attempt to climb the rocky walls back to the surface. Bruce would attempt the climb many times, but with a rope that prevented him from falling to his death. Then this conversation happens between Bruce and a fellow prisoner. You do not fear death. You think this makes you strong. It makes you weak. Why? How can you move faster than possible, fight longer than possible, without the most powerful impulse of the spirit, the fear of death? Spoiler alert, Bruce lets go of the rope and uses his fear of death to successfully climb out of the pit, much to the celebration of the prisoners below. Of course, this is a dramatic piece of fiction about Batman and making death-defying climbs to freedom, but the moral illustrated here is something we can all apply. We can use our fears to our advantage. We can, dare I say, make them our friend. But wait. Isn't fear supposed to be this horrible, gut-wrenching feeling that we all want to avoid at all costs? One of my favorite musicians, John Mayer, in his song The Heart of Life, sings, fear is... Hold on. Fear is a friend who's misunderstood, but I know... Fear is a friend who's misunderstood, because fear is not the bad thing. Fear is the response to the bad thing. And its purpose is to protect us. It's not the bad thing. It protects us from the bad thing. It's our friend who's misunderstood. But it's a little overprotective sometimes. At some point, you surrender. You make the jump. You face it, even if you're not completely 100% sure. You acknowledge it, and you do it anyway. You jump into the pool. Or in Batman's case, you make the climb without the rope. The important thing to understand here, my friend, is that everybody experiences fear. The key is to learn to face it, embrace it, understand it, and walk through it, step by step. Remember, change happens in your life when the pain of inaction exceeds the pain of action. Pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. Fear is a friend who's misunderstood, but I know the heart of life is good. Woo! Loves it. Loves it. What do we think, folks? It was just a slightly condensed. I mean, I had to condense it to a couple minutes, and the lesson itself was about 12 minutes long. So we go into actual practical ways of mitigating and using fear as to be our friend, so that we can use that to our advantage and help us succeed and further ourselves in our journey. So, I mean, I wasn't going to get you to sit here to watch the whole lesson, but I wanted to give you a sampling of it to show you the structure of how the lessons are. Clearly, I'm trying to stay true to my nature. It's high production quality. I initially was just going to go and record screen recordings of like a slide, and I got about 3 lessons deep doing that, and I went, oh man, like if I'm trying to be true to what I'm trying to do, which is create the best possible course that I can to truly help you, then doing what everyone else does and just recording this lame-o screen recording of like a slide with words on it. I mean, who cares? It's just another course that you're going to throw into the background and gather dust on your digital dust on your hard drive. And so I've stayed true to my own principles and wanted to create something that was high value. So you could see, you know, I've got all the lighting equipment. I got everything, you know, I'm looking real nice, you know, crisp and professional. But I also, while delivering something, you know, deep or impactful or meaningful, or I'm trying to elaborate on a really difficult question, or, you know, things that you want to know, I also try and keep it light and add humor. So stories and little skits, things like that. You could see I intentionally add those silly bits like me doing my Batman voice, you know? So, and other things like, you know, being silly, singing songs, making you feel nice about life and freelancing, starting a business. So looking forward to sharing it with you. There's a lot more of that. And that was just a sample of lesson 9 in the first module. So each module has a handful. The first one is 9 lessons, you know, and as they go, they're going to have various number of lessons within each module. So it's a very good course. I'm very excited about it. Mike, man, that was freaking great. Thank you. That's awesome. You're bringing more you to the front. Yes. Cool. Okay. So this is awesome. I'm glad this was well received. This is why I'm doing this as well, to, you know, to make sure that people are, you know, looking forward to what I'm doing, because it's about you. It's not about me. I'm just the messenger. So let me see. There's some questions coming in here. Brooksy, Brooksy asks, which programming language would you advocate in 2019? Brooksy, I want to ask you, or which framework? What's the purpose for you learning these things? Why do you want to learn a new programming language? That's my honest question. What's the purpose for you learning a programming language? Are we doing it for fun, like for a hobby, or what's your end goal? You know, it's kind of like asking, what's the latest and greatest woodworking tool that I should add to my shop this year? What was like, well, are you a contractor? Are you building a house? Are you trying to increase the safety of your shop? Are you trying to eliminate dust and have better air quality? What's the purpose for you looking for a new tool to add to your repertoire? as a programmer? These are questions that I honestly asking for a very clear purpose, that I want you to, you can learn whatever you want. I mean, that's the programming language that I advocate is the one that makes you the most happy. That's up to you. But once you get into the territory of what for, what's the purpose, what's the end goal, getting a job, working in a specific studio, building a certain thing, then the answer changes. In this context, we're talking about building a business. I'm all about you building a business, you taking back your time and creating something that matters and living a life full of meaning and purpose and passion. And the way that I know how to help you get there is by showing you how to build a business. As a consultant, starting as a freelancer, growing as a consultant, becoming an entrepreneur. And that for me is, that's the point. And so if a programming language or a certain tool or strategy or maneuver, whatever is what helps you get there, then you just use the tools to, help yourself grow. Dagana Studios says, suggests CardiB.js. Is that a legit thing? CardiB.js? What? Okay. So that I don't know if you're still here, Brooksy, BrewXY. But that's my response to that. I know a lot of people have questions about programming languages and what you should learn and things like that. But the honest answer is do whatever you want. Who cares? It's up to you. If you're looking to get clients, it's not about your programming languages. If you're looking to get a job, then look at the job description, find out what it is that they want, get really damn good at that, and apply to as many jobs as possible. For me, I'm not in the position to tell you how to get a job because I've had one salary job for a year and then I quit to start my own business, and I will never turn back because starting a business is what changed my professional life, my career, and ultimately my life. The freedom I experience, and it's opened me up to a whole new world. That's what I want for you. So just throwing programming languages at you doesn't really matter. You got to go deeper than that. Aaron smells a troll. Always got to have a troll in here. You always got to have a troll in here. That's how it is. Let's see. Ori, New Church says, currently taking your course through Udemy. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. On the JavaScript section so far, how do I effectively retain the information? What's your recommended time? Just keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. Daily, as much as you want. Make a habit of practicing, learning. Make it a habit. And code stuff. Keep doing it. You'll get better and better. Okay. Let's go to a couple question here from Ante Thomas. Okay. Ante says, I hope I get your name right. I'm just saying, I'm kind of like half going between Ante and Ante. So I'm going like Ante. Okay. I was collecting myself there. Hey, Brad, remember that Aaron's tough question from last week? I have something kind of similar to some extent. My client is actually my first paying client who's looking to redesign her real estate agency website. She accepted the proposal. We signed off on the agreement, agreed the WordPress theme. She paid 50% of the price up front, and I started working on the site. My initial plan was to finish everything in 5 to 6 weeks. But I have already spent twice that time and I'm still struggling with a ton of small design requests. Ooh, okay. Yes, I have stipulated in the contract that there will be no more than 2 design revisions, but these are not design revisions in that sense. Curious what you mean. The WordPress theme we're using is designed for real estate agencies. It's massive, has tons of features that we don't need. On the other hand, I have to add some extra customizations. Typical tasks include, for instance, remove that label, add this field, change the price format, etc. The thing is, these requests really make sense and are necessary for the site to function properly. Okay. Fortunately, the theme author is so cooperative and the answers all my requests. I believe I've opened at least 20 tickets so far. I'm not saying she's a bad client. She made the second payment ahead of time. She accepted to be on the website monthly retainer. After we launched the site, which includes hosting, maintenance, small design tweaks, etc. Today, she even suggested that if I consider that we passed over the budget, I can adjust the price accordingly. However, this project has been dragging on for a long time. I'd like to finally get it done. Head over to the new projects. Okay. Do I have any advice? Good question. That's amazing. I've been in that situation countless times. So I know that situation where it's not design requests. You actually have a good client. You know, you don't have any red flags really in terms of the client and the relationship. It seems like a really good client. But the problem is not they're saying, you know, like change the color, make the logo bigger, blah, 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 blah. It's actual, you know, legitimate stuff that you know needs to be incorporated into the project. Contingency that you didn't, you know, that you weren't really aware of just from lack of experience. You did say it was your first project, your first paying client. So learning lesson, you know, you're getting paid to learn in this case. So it's great you got a client, but you're also getting paid to learn. So keep that in mind. Don't get too anxious about it. That said, I'm not saying keep this going on for as long as possible because don't let it drag out because that's going to wear you out, burn you out, and you're going to get taken advantage of, even if it's by accident because of the situation with your client. So you do need to try and wrap it up. And the way that you can do that, they do seem reasonable. Take her up on adding more to the budget if it gets to the point where you realize, okay, I legitimately am starting to just eat into my own profit here. And although you are getting paid to learn, you're also a business, and that's not the point. The point is for you to make a profit and deliver a solution to your client in a timely manner. So if you need to increase budget because of out of scope, additional kind of contingency you didn't take into account, you can use that as like a last resort. But your goal here is to make a list, have your client make an entire list, comb through the site. This is usually the situation that happens at the end of a project where you get the last phase is the feedback phase, where you say, go through everything with a fine-tooth comb 3 times over with 2 other people. You know, no stone unturned sort of feedback session. Give me your exhaustive list of everything that needs to be done. I will do the same. Meaning you will do the same. I won't do the same. And once you get that list, you dedicate a time for that, a time frame for that, versus having your feedback just be peppered throughout all the things. Your feedback should be reserved, the major feedback and the exhaustive list is reserved for the end of the project. You go through and then you could take that exhaustive list and say, I will get all these done. And then we'll go back. You can check off that list. You said that's your scope now. Here are the 30 things that need to be done. We've reviewed it, double checked it, triple checked it, and this is our list. After that, we're satisfied. You go through, you check them all off. You go back to the client and say, all done. All the things are done. Confirm that they're good. Give me the green light. After that, they should be satisfied. It is possible that they might all of a sudden see something else or have an idea or a thought or something jogs their memory or their, a creative thought. And they go, oh, but I really actually like it like this. And can you change that a little bit and tweak? And then you start getting into that sort of stuff. Is it prescriptive? Anyway, losing my thought on it right now. But you want to prescriptive feedback. Yeah, that's the word. You don't want them to get into that zone where now they're just throwing all these random things at you. Once you've completed that exhaustive list, then you can say, okay, all these new requests are out of scope. Yeah, I can do that. It'll be an extra couple hours. Here's, it'll be an additional X amount as a line item on the invoice. Once I get your approval on that, I'll do these extra feedback and so on and so forth. Use your judgment. That's not black and white. You might say, oh yeah, they're just 2 little tiny things. I'll take care of that. No problem. But be clear on that you're wrapping the project. Once this list is done, we will launch the site. And once the site is launched, any changes after that outside of, like if there's an actual bug or issue, those will be billed additionally. And then they give you the okay and you're good to go. So that's my suggestion for that. So you're doing a good job. It is a little bit tricky. You're the situation that you're in only because you're learning and it's a first project and, you got to figure that out as you go. You're getting paid to learn in this case, But you want to take note of the things that next time you don't want to be in that situation. Charge a higher budget, have maybe a stricter scope, maybe define a more concrete feedback session where you say all feedback must be reserved for the last phase, the feedback phase, where we do 10 days of feedback and we'll do a feedback loop. So if you're seeing stuff, keep it in a master list and give it to me at the end. I'm going to build the project, build all the things, and then at the end, we'll reserve it and go all in on fixing things, feedback loop, and make sure everything's perfect. You'll give me your master list. We'll exhaust through all of that. And then after that, the site goes live. We're good to go. Anything after that is outside of the scope and will be billed additionally. Does that make sense? I don't know if Ante is here, but I know that's a question that a lot of folks will have, especially if you're a consultant in the design, development, and you're building something for somebody. So, and maybe that works for other consultants too, but I know specifically in that case, it's very relevant. Okay. So let me see if there are any more questions. I'm going through the responses here. That was kind of it for questions submitted this time. If you guys have any questions, you do have my attention for the next little bit here. Questions about freelancing, questions about freelancing freedom, about your specific situation. Here to answer some questions. And if we don't have anything to answer, then we'll have an early Thursday. So, which I'm good with too. So, give you a moment to drum up a couple questions. While I'm waiting, I'll give you a little something. The Freelancing Freedom, as I mentioned, 4 new courses are coming out over the next, I'm working on them all day, every day. First course, Launch Your Freelance Business, will be coming out. I don't have an end date for that quite yet. But as I showed you at the beginning of this live stream, you saw a little teaser into one of the lessons. The Freelancing Freedom Masterclass students get that first course for free. And I'll be rolling that out ASAP, especially for you Masterclass students. And I'm really excited to launch it. Really excited. I'll be making sure to give you updates along the way so you know what's going on. I'm working on designing a new site. So Freelancing Freedom will change. I should take my own advice and not to do all the design stuff myself, but sometimes it's hard to let that go. Okay, Aaron has a question. Shoot, Aaron. What is the best way, aside from offering something free, to build an email list? A number of ways. You can build an email list. As a basic formula, you need to offer something in exchange. You're asking something very valuable from them. Their email address, that's not necessarily the valuable thing. The valuable thing is what you're getting from them is their permission for you to communicate with them, to market to them. And that's the most valuable. I mean, you could argue maybe their money is the most valuable, but I think the most valuable truly is their attention, because they are explicitly giving you permission to talk to them about you and your thing, your products and services. And that's the first step before they give you any money. So, and they have the ultimate power and control in that situation. So if you're just saying, hey, I got a website, you need to give me your email address and I will send you newsletters. No one cares about that. There's enough newsletters out there already. There's enough noise on the internet. There's enough clutter and garbage out there. So why would I even bother to give you my attention, my email? And so that's what you have to ask. So you need to give them something that they want. And free is usually the best way. I'm not saying give them a service for free necessarily. It probably should be automated and totally scalable and not dependent on your human person being there. You need to offer something, which is why the formula of they're on your site, they have some interest in you for some whatever reason, be it a paid ad, a referral, they found you through a link, they know you, they specifically search for you. There's a number of ways, acquisition channels that they've found you, social media, anything. And so you have their momentary attention. First thing you want to do is give them something that they really want. So I see you saying there, Aaron, is would a discount on a future product be a suitable exchange? I'm going to say no. Here's why. Because chances are they are not convinced of you yet. They're not convinced you are a solution yet. So, and it depends on the situation. Let's say udemy.com, for example, or Amazon, or any of these like sort of e-commerce and online marketplaces and things like that, where discounts are really, you know, if you're a food truck, or if you have a new service, like we just signed up for Good Food. It's the same thing as like HelloFresh, Blue Plate, or whatever they're called. It's like a food subscription. They send you like your meals a few times a week at your door, and you subscribe to it, and each week you get like a new box of meals that you can make for supper. We saw a great promo for one of them, and so we bought that one because of its promo. So in that case, yeah, you know, that promotion would work. But for consultants are very specific. Consultants are quite niche. They should be. And they're not in the business of discount services. And if you are, then that's a slippery slope. So yes, Mike, people love saving money, but I don't want you to be in the bargain bin of consultants. Go to Upwork, go to freelancer.com, go to Fiverr and all that sort of stuff. There's your bargain bin. I don't want you to be that. I want you to be a high value, sought after consultant who matters a lot to some people. So you shouldn't be aiming to try and be saving money in your type of business, in our business, in the consulting, freelancing, and offering a service and products. That's not the name of the game. You want to be saving them time, saving them stress, saving them unnecessary output that you can take care of. You want them to save themselves from bad decisions in their business where they shouldn't have their fingers in that, you know, in those pots that you can take care of. Saving money, now you're playing a dangerous game. You're playing the roulette, and it's not going to work out in your favor, because there's somebody overseas, someone at Fiverr, Upwork, whatever, that can take what you do, probably do it decently well, at least moderately acceptable, in some cases really well, for super, super cheap. So you play the discount game, I promise you're going to lose. You're going to lose by losing your clients. You're going to lose by losing your profit. You're going to lose by losing your sanity. It's not a game you want to play. So, okay. Aaron, still jamming on your question here. So Aaron says, I have this ebook I'm working on, but I'm not sure how to build an email list to market when the ebook is released. Are there any strategies for building the list pre-release? Yes. So think about who your target customer is. And I know you, Aaron, are getting pretty close to what this is. And this is for everybody. Ask yourself this. When they're on your website, your portfolio, your landing page, your product page, your service page, when they're on the site, what is the struggles? What are the struggles, the most common struggles, the thing that keeps them up at night that your target audience experiences that you can solve quickly, at least a part of it, ease the pain a bit, lighten the load? What's something that you can deliver to them, offer to them automatically, instantly, that they would see that offer and go, I need that. And it's free. That's the point. It's free. You're offering something for free. It could be a checklist, ebook, it could be a little video course. It could be anything under the sun. People have done creative stuff like a secret pod, like a audio, 3 episodes of a podcast about a specific thing, to ebooks, to, design graphics, to a checklist, to a done for you thing. Some people go all out and deliver super high value for their lead magnet, which is what it's called. Some people do something very simple. It's up to you. And that's, that's something that we'll get into with Systemize, the second course. But it needs to be something that they go, I need that. And you have to keep that in mind. And so let's see, Alea says, Aaron, here's an example I got from Brad. I answer a lot of questions about a tool I use. I'm very active in the Facebook community. I turned all those questions into a library on my site. And then they search for more questions. After a few questions, they sign up for more. So there we go. A really creative use of a lead magnet. It doesn't have to be a white paper or a checklist, or it could be a PDF. It could be a physical book. It could be a chapter of a book of yours. It could be a chapter of your ebook. It could be, oh, hold up. Phone call. Pause for a quick second, folks. Hold up. Love it. There we go. That works. Okay, let me get back to it. So you need to, okay, Aaron, I love this question. This is great. And I'm going to develop this more, because this is going to be something that's going to be heavily, the content of this is going to be heavily influenced in this second course, Systemize, because that's what it's all about. You can start by manually getting people on your list. So sign up for MailChimp, sign up for ConvertKit, sign up for whatever. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you want to scale and grow something, I suggest something that's going to grow with you. In my case, and in many others' cases, I suggest ConvertKit. You go to bradhussey.ca/ConvertKit. That is an affiliate link. But I've been using ConvertKit for years now, and it's like the lifeblood of my business. So you need a way to capture those emails. And you could start off manually offering it to people in person, over texts, email. I would hesitate spamming groups and forums and stuff like that. So, you need to deliver with value. So usually the best bet is to write a blog post or film a video or do something that's really valuable and impactful, like a milestone, kind of cornerstone piece of content. It doesn't have to be massive, but it could be something that addresses a really common pain point with your audience. Get that free thing, the blog post, video, podcast episode, infographic with, a video attached to it. That's free, ungated, so you don't need to add an email and say like, answer questions, and then you're answering a question in a group or to a person or in a meetup or whatever, and you say, I wrote this on my blog, check this out. And then from there, you can, with ConvertKit, add a little, JavaScript snippet in there and a little pop-up or a little form. It says, if you like this post, download my 7-step checklist to X, Y, and Z, or, do you like this content, or did that, was this valuable to you? If so, take my free, 3-video course on how to X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. You can kind of fill in the blanks here. And I'll try to be brief here for the sake of this live stream. But you kind of get the idea, and you can be creative. You need to offer something valuable. And so build your list short, in small steps, get your first 10 subscribers, get your first 100 subscribers. Once you get, 100, 200, 300, then you start using, you can start using all the ways you can manually, inviting people on your business card, have a link that goes specifically to an opt-in form on your site, commuting with people in groups and sending, them to a blog post of yours or a video. And then, at the end of it, your call to action is, thanks for watching or thanks for listening. If you found this helpful, sign up for my free X, Y, and Z at this link, and I'll send you this as a little thank you, whatever. There's lots of fun and creative ways that you can do that. Your traffic starts becoming they start becoming subscribers. You can measure with ConvertKit your subscriber rate from the people who view that page and who opt in. So you can then calculate based on the visitors that you get, how many subscribers you get. You can increase traffic. You can increase your conversion rate. There's lots of little fun things that you can do to make that number grow. And as you get your 500, 700, 1,000 subscribers, depending on your niche, you might need more. Depending on your niche, you might need less. And you can then use that to market your material automatically, through smart sequencing in ConvertKit. And this is why I suggest ConvertKit, because you can do really smart automation and sequencing depending on where the person is, who the person is, where they're at in their journey. And instead of just blasting everyone with promotions at the same time, this person might be new to your journey, new on their journey, and this person might be experienced and really ready to buy the thing. So those are just some ideas, Aaron, for building your list. I know I kind of threw a bunch at you right there, but fear not. I'm going to be making some really great stuff on that topic as well, because I believe that it's not really a good solution out there for freelancers who are trying to, I don't get all these phone calls. I'm so busy. No, I'm actually not. I get phone calls and I ignore them all the time. Freelancers can truly benefit from this. Consultants can really benefit from this online world. We have these tools at our disposal and we need to use them. We just don't know how, or consultants and many freelancers just don't know how to use them. And I use them every day in my online business for, my products and stuff, because I'm in that fourth stage, as you know, with the 4 stages of freelancing freedom. And bloggers use, all these strategies and techniques, and, why can't consultants use them? Well, they can. There's just not a lot of knowledge and resources and training on that. And I want to be able to fill that gap where I can in my way. So Aaron says, interesting. I'm munching on it all. Cool. Awesome. Somebody in the chat asks, where living you? I'm guessing you're asking where I live. I live in Canada. So yeah, there we go, folks. If you have any final questions, I am happy to chat about one more. Otherwise, we can wrap this party up and meet again next week with some new questions. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. I really like doing these, even if they are brief or there's only a few questions. I still enjoy them, and I hope that they are valuable to you. So with that said, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have an amazing Friday tomorrow and a nice weekend with your friends and your family. And I think we'll round this one up. We'll call it an early Thursday. So thank you, folks. I appreciate you. Catch you next time. Cheers. And God bless you. Bye now.